bring in now our guest with us tonight, Ed Heiner, former Navy SEAL, who is with us. Ed, as you look at how the Ukrainians are continuing to be able to fight, are the Russians going to be able to close in on Kyiv or close in on Odessa if they're having to worry about the Ukrainians in their rear with javelins?
Well, they may close in, but they're not going to win it. The Russians are in a very, very bad situation. This insurgency, the possibility of insurgency is just overwhelming to them. They don't have the forces to do anything right now. Their logistics suck. I mean, if you look, they look like 1950s Army. It's really a showcase of their inability to fight and prosecute a war. So they're going to have to come to the table pretty soon. They cannot win. And as long as Ukrainian people are willing to fight and we can supply them with enough weapons to fight, they're done. I mean, they're cooked. They're going to have to kill off.
What do you make so far of the Ukrainians' tactics, and how was there such this misunderstanding or misestimation by the media and by everybody else, and even the intelligence community, about how good the Russians were and and that was totally screwed up, and everyone thought the Ukrainians were going to cave and missed what great fighters they were going to be?
Well, we've seen intelligence mistakes, over this century. But, the will to fight is something. I fought 3 insurgencies for years, decades of my life, and the will to fight is the key. And the Ukrainians still have the will to fight, and they have shown that. Even if they take the major cities, the Russians take the major cities, they're always going to have to watch the back of them. When I was in, Baghdad, Fallujah, Ramadi, all of these other places that we were working, to, defend the country of Iraq. It was tough. I mean, you never can sleep. You can never take a breath. And these Russians are going to feel the same thing. They're going to get it handed to them, to be honest with you. They're not going to do well in this.
Yeah, they already are. The Russian Foreign Ministry now, or the Defense Ministry, is putting out the 10,000 killed in action. Conceivably, that number is going to go, number one, a lot higher, even if they're telling the truth about that number. The pictures we're looking at right now shows a lot of Russian armor and trucks in the snow that have been destroyed. We'd talked a lot about how the timing of the invasion was key. It's a lot easier to move men and equipment, and especially tanks, over frozen ground. It's starting to become spring in Ukraine, especially in the south, and especially around the farmland surrounding Kyiv. How does that change the dynamic?
Well, it's going to change. I mean, the logistic people will tell you it takes like 10 bullets to get 1 bullet to the front line, so to speak, right? 10 gallons of gas to get one to the front. And their supply lines are going to be cut off. I hope to God we help them cut off those supply lines, and the Russians will be cut off in the middle of these cities. It's unwinnable for them. I mean, they're going to have to find an out. I hope the world gives Russians a way out so they don't escalate this, because Putin, who knows? Nobody knows him, knows what he's going to do, but he has to have a way out of this. This is a catastrophic loss for him, or potentially is, and let's give him a way out. I know he wants the southern states and whatnot, but he cannot leave this alive, so to speak, with him and his regime. He cannot. It's going to be a disgrace.
Ed, it is remarkable that the Ukrainians and the army there have been able to hold off the Russian forces in Kyiv and around Kyiv for this long. I mean, 4 weeks into battle almost, with what we've seen happen in Mariupol. I want to get your thoughts, though, on this hypersonic missile. Is this a show of desperation from Putin and his army, that they are just out of options?
Well, just as a layman myself, I would think that he's thinking he's going to show that he has those kind of missiles that can attach a warhead to it to show, hey, we do have an offensive capability around the world. That's what I take out of it, because he has a nuclear stockpile bigger than anyone, I think, in the world. So just to say we have this, I think so. I mean, I don't think on the battlefield it does any, it's not worth anything, but just to show that he has it, yeah. But I hopefully with the next few weeks, his people around him will start to see the end of their reign here.
Thanks for watching. Click the red subscribe button below so you can get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.